Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our trek to the Shenandoah National Park for a 108-mile section hike. Doing the whole Shenandoah National Park, Rockfish Gap, up to Fort Royal. So I wanted to go over everything that we're taking and how we're going to pack. So first we have our sleep system. Over here we have a 6 Moon Design Lunar Duo backpacking tent, our sleeping bags. We have the foam pads for at night. This is a blow-up pillow. Otis likes a pillow. I'm just gonna put clothes in a stuff sack and sleep on that. We come over to food. I like to do the bear canister instead of bear bags and try and hang it from trees and stuff. So I got my bear canister. This is food for the next 4 days, and then we'll resupply. But we got ramen noodles, Cliff Bars, some Oreos, some instant coffee, chicken, some tuna packs, some Gatorade packs, as well as turkey, like the turkey beef sticks or turkey sticks, just some Quest cookies, which are just kind of a little protein cookie, a couple energy gels if we need them. And so that's what we're doing with food. We'll have a little separate video on putting this all into the bear canister. Then we have toilet paper and our shovel, which we'll also put into a bag. It'll be at the top of the pack, so it's accessible. A couple hiking towels in case it rains or we need to dry off anything. We have our first aid kit, as well as I noticed I had some hand warmers, so I'm going to throw those in because it's going to be in the 50s at night. We have pepper spray. It's more for animals than anything else. A couple notebooks in case you want to write stuff down. Whistles. We have some games. This is a checkers and chess travel set, as well as some cards. So once we get to our shelters and we're relaxing, we have something to do. Trekking poles, which are always a must. We have our chargers for the phone. Water bottles. Cooking system, the stove with some fuel. There's fuel in here, but I always carry it extra just in case. Off if we need it. Extra batteries for the flashlights. I use headlamps. Then we have our water filtration system. Since there's 2 of us, I always take this gallon system. It's a gallon bag, goes through the hose, and you have your Sawyer filter, the filter cleaner. Because yeah, one year it started getting stuck and it was kind of a pain, so I always take this with me as well. Some antibacterial wipes in case we need them, some toiletry items. The bladders, we use the bladder system, so we put these in our packs so we can drink. Extra bags, so when we pack all this stuff up, we can organize. Over here is printouts of there's our backpacking permit for the Shenandoah National Park, our itinerary, kind of our plan of action, as well as maps and stuff. I also use the Far Out app on the phone, but I like having printouts too because I'm an old man. I also brought a book to read at night. I don't know how much reading will get done, but I figured I'd want it just for relaxing time. There's a little stuff sack back there. And then we got our hiking hats. I got my Tilly. He's got his sun hat, as well as our packs. It's a Kelty 35, I believe, and then Otis's pack. And then clothes-wise, we're bringing 3 sets of clothes, so we can start in a set. After about 3 days, we'll change, or if we get real wet, we can change. And then 3 sets we can change 3 times. Socks for every day. And then long underwear for sleeping at night, as well as some sweatshirts and whatnot. So that's everything that we're taking. We are going to resupply food halfway through. So our first step here is we're going to get the bear canister all loaded up, and then we will start loading up the actual packs. All right, everybody, we have stuff segregated. This is everything that goes into my pack. We did do the bear canister. I did not film that. But basically we just layered it, so they go by day. That way when you're taking it out, you're not digging and dumping stuff out to get there. But we did also pack a day pack of food, which is right over there. So that's the day pack of food. And Otis is going to carry that one while I get everything else. So we're going to load our pack. and I'll talk through what I have as I'm doing it. So we start with the bare canister. I carry it inside the pack. There are people that prefer to strap it on top of the pack or on the bottom of the pack because it's kind of big and bulky. So I always start with this though. I put it in, kind of try to keep it toward my back. So you want to keep the heavier stuff toward your back side, so it's not pulling too much on your shoulder and the weight kind of goes directly down your body. After that, I'm gonna do our tent. The tent is the Lunar Duo from 6 Moon. I'm gonna slide that on one side, and then we're gonna take our sleeping bag. We're gonna take our sleeping bag on the side here, and we'll slide it all the way down. So I have my tent on one side, bare canister on the other. Sorry, tent on one side, sleeping bag on the other to keep the bare canister centered in here. So from the outside, you might have to push, pull, and do things to get everything lined up. So after that, you just kind of infill with what you need. So clothes-wise, I usually will throw those in next. I don't put them in a lot of bags because I want them to fit in between and all the little tight nooks and crannies that are left over in here. So then you just kind of shove them to the bottom. If you try to put everything in stuff sacks, sometimes it's harder to load and you end up with a lot of empty space inside your pack. So that's the clothes. Now we'll do our stove. Put on that on the side with the sleeping bag because it'll sit on top of the sleeping bag. You just want to make sure you give it a little bit of pressure to push everything down. Not necessarily out, but down so that it's in there. So let's go with our remaining clothes on this side. So that's all our clothes. Our water bottles will go on the outside. Some of the stuff that's kind of small and we'll use fairly often, I put in my top bag, which will sit up here, which is flashlight, and this is all the toiletries and kind of miscellaneous extra batteries and stuff. So we slide that one in here along with the toilet paper so that that's easily accessible. And you're not doing your whole pack to get to it. So after that, we have our nighttime stuff, like games and whatnot. We'll slide in this side, going around. The wipes will want accessible as well as the first aid kit. So we'll slide those in the side pocket over here. The like pepper spray and stuff and the whistle, I usually put on my hip strap on the side over here. We have our chargers, so let's load these up. And I'll actually need that cord tonight, so I'm not gonna pack that. But the chargers kind of on top here. There's a little bit of rope, so this is more for at night if we want to hang up our clothes and stuff. We can tie it off to the clothesline. So in the pack, and then some bug spray we'll kind of put on top here. I usually get the hand pump stuff so that it doesn't actually get hit and sprays all over your pack. Then we have our little camping towel. Put it on the top, and that is basically everything for the inside of the pack. So once the inside is done, zip that up and get it ready. And this guy here just snaps on. All your packs would be a little bit different, so just know your pack. the bladder for the water, I always slide right in this front one. It's easily accessible and I can get to it. That'll click in there once we get everything else loaded. This front pocket right here is usually where I put the water system. I do take some extra quart bags, so if you hit a low water stream, you can use the bag to kind of dip it in to get the water if this thing doesn't fit very well. When that's full of water, it's a little easier to load up, and it'll stay flat. You just put that in, then I tighten it down. So the last remaining items, obviously I walk with those, so don't worry about that. This guy here is the itinerary of stuff, which I will put up at the very, very top pocket, so that we can pull it out whenever we need to. Don't refer to it a lot, but you know, sometimes we do. So we want that accessible. And then the shoes, so Crocs for at night. I have this big carabiner here that I just put that on, strap it on. That way they dangle, so if they're wet or something, it's not a big deal. The little selfie stick for these types of videos and stuff, I just throw in one of the drink holders along with a drink on the other side. And then we just have our foam pad, which we'll strap to the top here, and I'll show you that once we're done. Alright, so on to Otis's pack. His is a little bit smaller. Next year I'll have to upgrade him because he's starting to get bigger. So for his, we'll start out with the sleeping bag on the bottom. And we'll do some clothes. The key is, with not bringing a lot, it's not going to be hard to unpack this and repack it as needed. So generally the clothes, and again we don't use stuff sacks for the clothes and stuff, so that we can easily fit everything in here. So there's all the clothes. We have this pillow. We slide in. Then flashlight. We'll have his towel, and then we'll cap it off with the food. So we'll load this up, and then his water goes on the front here. We'll slide this down. And then it wraps around. There's a little thing here on the strap that we usually put it through so that it doesn't, you know, it's not all wobbling around. And then in here, we'll throw the pepper spray for any animals. And then throughout the day, if we want, we'll put some snacks and stuff in here as well to get that set up. So last thing we have is our foam pad, which we will strap to the outside. All right, so we're all packed. We have Otis's pack over here, and we have my pack over here, and we are sitting at 17 pounds for him and 42 pounds for me. You can see I didn't have my lid completely tight on my water bladder, and it got a little wet, but that's all right, it'll dry out. So we're pretty well set. We're gonna load up in the car, and we are gonna head out to Shenandoah National Park, about a 6-hour drive.